Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the third hour here, or second hour. No,
Third hour.
third hour. I was right. Third hour of It's Never Sunny in Doskvol. So we just did some downtime. That was a lot of fun. And Niren in chat, hearts to Niren. By the way, he played in my one shot of Burning Wheel, along with Kelsa. That was a lot of fun. Great seeing you there. So anyways, yeah, Niren brought up that the term that I'm looking for is not cerebrophile, it's sapiosexual. That is the word, that is the actual word for someone attracted to intelligence and the human mind. And that's exactly what this vampire is. That's exactly what Hobbes is into. Whether that's art or science, whatever it is, whatever drives, that is something that is very attractive. Might have something to do. Actually, I won't say that. We'll leave that as a mystery. Okay. So, what do you guys want to do? You guys cracked the Lord Strangford puzzle. You guys got the in with the blue coats, right?
Mm-hmm.
You did the downtime activities. I just realized that Seer and Asteyni's cameras are flip-flopped. But no worries. Yeah, that's no big deal. I can fix that real quick. Actually, Seer, could you just quickly turn on and turn off your camera? You'll probably fix it. Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. So
So that was like step one of our multi-step plan to open up a second location.
yes, in Brightstone.
So remind me what step two was, because that was half a month ago.
Right? Okay. So, I believe that one of the big problems of buying property in Brightstone is it's super expensive and it's super hard to get connections there. What was it? What?
I remember now. It was we were going to get in good with the. I remember because this is similar to the plan that one of my other players had come up with, but I didn't even contribute to this plan. You all came up with it on your own, which is we were going to try to get a place condemned that we could then like buy it on the cheap, or be like convince a magistrate or something to hire us to renovate it or whatever.
Yes.
I don't think we were going with the condemn thing. I think we are gonna gather evidence.
Oh, right. We were going to
so they
bust a
can come
place.
in and
Right. That was
the
it.
gang, whoever was hanging out there,
And then
And
get it
then-
off the police auction.
and then we get it off the police auction for first bid because we just swap in before anyone else gets to, and we get it for cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Which yeah.
That's right. We're trying to steal, get in like an easy way for an auction and get some undercover knowledge of that. That might be pretty difficult though, but as we'll see. But you guys are going in the right direction for that, because now a lot of it will be luck based. So, you guys want to start looking around and trying to get an idea and feels for the auctions of real estate in Brightstone.
Well, I think what we're looking to, the whole reason we went with the blue coats is because we want to basically position ourselves so that we can say, hey, there's criminal activity going on in Brightstone.
Yeah.
We can help you shut it down.
Yeah, and I think that part of
Asset
our
forfeiture, right, is the idea that you're trying to go off of, right?
Right. And part of the plan was to actually like either find a place that we can set up that we want to force it to go onto like the auction block, or if even possible to forego that step if we get in good enough with the blue coats, and then we just acquire it directly from them instead of having to have it go to auction where things might go weird. But
Yeah.
that's like the pipe dream, you know.
Yeah. So something that I'm trying to convey for this game in of particular and of Blades in the Dark is that you cannot get anywhere and raise your station unless you piss off the people who are above you. There's no space to grow. There's no like open, free stuff around.
Right, like we had picked out, and I don't remember what faction it was, a different faction that we were going to have this bus run on. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
I don't think we picked another gang.
I don't think we did either.
Okay, so we just talked that we were going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
I mean, it's Duskvol. There's crime literally everywhere.
Yeah.
So
The only way you get ahead is putting your boot on the face of another person and standing above them.
So let's look at some eligible faces, people.
Yeah.
Who's in Brightstone?
So there's quite a few people in Brightstone. Everybody kind of wants to get into Brightstone. Like, Brightstone's one of the nicest places in Doskvol. It's... I was going to mention it's kind of like the Upper East Side. If that... No, it probably doesn't help anybody. This is the nice part of town. Let's just put it that way, right? The capital NP... lower, it's the placeholder. It is the desirable place to live. It has a good school system. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
It's a good place to raise a family in Duskvol. So a lot of people are trying to gun there. You're gonna be competing with a lot of people. You need every single thing to your advantage. Really, because of that, almost any faction's kind of on the table, as long as they're tier 3 or above, and it mostly makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Because everyone kind of wants to gun there. Is there any faction you guys particularly dislike right now? Or particularly
I was just about to look that up.
All right. We can look at our faction list and our current dispositions, but I also just brought up on screen real quick a bunch of the descriptions of different people.
Rates?
Yeah.
They're only tier 2, aren't they?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I wish that description told you that. I have to go. Let me just bring you guys over to that screen.
The only tier 3 I think we know
the Hive.
Them or higher is the Hive or the Blue Coats, and we don't want to piss either of those guys off.
Okay, so let's pick someone that we can piss off. Like, maybe...
So,
maybe Lord Skurlock?
The Scoven Consulate, yeah.
Silver Nails.
1 second, what's the foundation? Oh yeah, okay, of course, they're the architects and builders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, you know what? I'm sorry, players. Let me bring you over here. I'm looking at this screen. You get to look at my fancy.
Oh, that would help! Yay!
Here's a list of factions in Duskvol.
Okay.
And I also need to give you. You have a plus with the Blue Coats. Where are the Blue Coats? There they are.
There. Yep.
So there's a couple ones of different tiers that we can play around with here. But I'm kind of cool. I'm interested in who you guys want to pick off and why it would make sense. I feel like it would be more likely that a non-criminal underworld entity would be looking around Brightstone.
Mm-hmm.
But our plan is kind of that they are criminals. It kind of hinges on them having criminal activity and the Blue Coats wanting to shut that down.
Here's a spoiler. They're all criminals.
I mean, Seer, what's your relationship with Lord Skurlock? Is he on your list?
He's
okay.
Cool. I don't have any relationship.
Probably shouldn't fight him. Silver Nails, Circle of the Flame. I was just thinking if your vampire sensei would be willing to help us against another vampire or something like along those lines. But it's probably a bad idea.
The Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh. I'm looking at this list right now. I think they probably have one of the strongest presences in Brightstone, considering their cathedrals there.
Well, we wouldn't want to take a cathedral. That would be really awkward.
No, but you might be able to... So you guys are looking for something like... a place of your own, but something you haven't put forward, or maybe there's a good reason this hasn't been brought up, and maybe you already did, and it's a no, but like a partnership with somebody, right? Like you like.
I was wondering if maybe we could like talk with the Hive, since they're already supplying us. Maybe they would, and we've been doing well. We've been paying, and we're looking to expand our business, and that means more drugs that they can sell.
Like they have like a shitty place, and we're being like, but we could totally run that way better for you guys.
Like, I don't think they have any vice dens themselves, at least not in... I mean, they seem more like the suppliers than the people that would run the vice den. But if you want to be like, hey, we could run your drugs right here, nearby...
in the middle of Brightstone, we've got the blue coats. Like,
so if the Hive sets you up in Brightstone, you're basically promising to deliver. Is that the idea here?
Yeah, and like we're like, here's where we, we've already made these inroads. We're ready to go. If you want to help us out, then we can put your name on it, and people will know that it's the best of the best. You've seen what we could do in, out of our shitty rusty bucket.
In 6 towers.
Yeah.
And imagine what we could do in the right places.
Boy. Okay, well, I think the big thing here, if that's what's going to happen. So, I'm trying to find in my notes the name of your handler for the.
It's on our crew sheet. Let me look it up. We were talking with Dira.
Oh, that's right. Deirdre.
I thought we had.
It's Deirdre McWraith is the name of your Hive contact.
And then we had some guy who was watching us. What was his name?
Miguel.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So Miguel is sort of like your liaison, but Deirdre is sort of like the 6 Towers Hive branch manager, I think is the best way of putting it. Right? It's like Miguel's boss is Deirdre. Right? So how do you I like that idea of you bringing up with the Hive, but like how are you going to do that?
I think we just arrange a meet because like we've sold out all of their drugs again. Mm-hmm. And so we'd need to talk to them anyway to resupply. And rather than it being like just hey, we need more drugs for this thing, I'm like, I have a business opportunity for you. I have an investment opportunity for you.
Okay. So you're going to give them a sort of like, you're going to print out a bunch of promotional material with some charts and show like projected growth.
This is
you're going to the Hive. Yeah, you're going to go to like the Hive boardroom meeting or whatever and propose the expansion plan here, right? Yeah. Essentially, I mean, obviously it doesn't look like that, but
a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, like you're trying to sell them on this idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
A vote for the painted lady is a vote for the future.
Okay.
I mean, do you want Jewel to come with you on this mission? Like, or do you want to do it yourself? Like,
you think you can help?
I don't know.
I can totally help.
Does Vale think that Jewel can help?
Yeah,
I'm not
just
sure
so
that Jewel thinks that Jewel can help.
You guys would know this, by the way. So you're going to work with the Hive, right? The Hive is very much a very highly structured organization that operates in sort of like independent cells based on the neighborhoods that kind of all like report together. That's almost more like a well-run cartel than anything. Mm-hmm. So you would know that the Hive in Brightstone would not be run by Deirdre, right? But the person who runs that would be at the same level as Deirdre. Only probably they would think of themselves as a little bit more important, right? Because it's
it's a nicer neighborhood.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So what we'd be looking to do would be to have Deidre get us a meet with whoever her equivalent is.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah. If I can steal a line from Torchbearer, I think the idea of going through Deirdre to set up that meet is a good idea. That doesn't require a roll. But I think where this will actually happen and the convincing takes place is with Deirdre's peer of the person of Brightstone, right? You're convincing to put you ahead of this. Right. And maybe you can say we can have a flashback if we... No, don't worry about it. That Deirdre sets you up with this. I'm thinking too far ahead of things right now. Yeah.
If we need to do a flashback, we can do a flashback.
Yeah.
I agree.
But
Okay,
you
so
don't. I'm sorry. What? I'm not trying to change the game too much. I feel like that's probably just where we're at right now.
I
Trying to
think
get to the same page.
I think when we cut over to the meeting with Deidre's peer, that Jewel is not there, but we can establish in a flashback whether she's like waiting just outside or did not come at all, depending on what is going to be most useful at the time.
I think I want Seer there just in case I need like you to take some stress to help me out with something. I'll do all the talking.
Thanks, Vale.
Love you.
Yeah, that sounds perfect, right? Okay. So this is let me come up with a good name. Let me roll. Let me see what their looks are, and then go from there. Thanks, John Harper. Roll again. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this is like a social plan, is my idea here.
Mm-hmm.
In the meeting point is with their contact that Deirdre sets you up with. Their name is Orlin. Let me write this down as well. It's Orlin Savoy. Boy, I'm like fleshing out the hive now.
Perfect.
Okay, so it's Orlin Savoy. You guys are not going to meet in Brightstone. You just will not conduct business there. I think part of what this engagement role will help determine where exactly we're going to meet and the conditions of where you guys meet. So, you're meeting with a higher tier, but you're probably meeting... Oh, I guess the turf can't be a trait in this role. They're prepared. It's not like you're really like running them or trying to swindle them that much or anything like this. So I really think 4 dice is probably fair at the start here. To see what happens. I got a 6. Okay, cool. Yeah, so they're willing to meet you. I think they're probably going to meet you. They're going to meet you in sort of like not in Brightstone, but they're going to meet you in Charter Hall District. They're going to meet you in sort of like one of like the lofts they have in Charter Hall. You know, like very much like one of those large Gothic stone buildings. You're on like the 5th or 6th floor. It's one of the tallest buildings, you know. It's like completely empty, like it's under construction or whatever, and they own it. So it's like very like sparsely as far as like furniture or anything in it, but it has like amazing huge bay windows overlooking the drizzly gray polluted channels of Doskvol, right? We see the electric lines going around, and we see like the train like in the distance. That's about as far as like you basically have like you have sight of almost all of Duskvol. It's a view that none of you have probably ever seen before from this perspective. And yeah, so this guy's here, or this person's here because their gender is unknown. I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of like a genderless title for them. I was like, well, can't be Lord, can't be Lady, Comrade. Like I'm running out of things to like to call them, but yeah. So Savoy is here along with a retinue of like accountants and
God,
yeah.
accountants.
Yeah, the dangerous kinds, right? And you know, a couple people who are like physical, let's say physically adept is the best way of putting it. But it's mostly people of logistics and supplies here, willing to talk business with you.
Okay. So I guess Sierra and we show up. We probably had a couple of the boys come escort us, but they wait outside.
Yeah.
Because that's the polite thing to do. And, we do our pleasantries and then we get down to business. And I'm like, okay, so Deirdre has seen what we can do in 6 towers, but the clientele there is limited. And we have these big plans and we can make the hive and you a lot of money. So here is our business proposal.
He looks over like what you have prepared, and I will say, you do live up to being ambitious. Looking at your reports and stuff, you are one of the most successful partners we've had in quite some time. But before he makes a decision, I think this is where the role comes in.
Okay. So would this be like a sway? I'm not really trying to deceive them, but I am trying to like influence them, so I'm not sure.
You're trying to manipulate them. That's sway.
Okay.
But I mean, it's your call to make. But like, I feel like that's your well. I wouldn't punish you in terms of position or effect by using sway to get what you want versus consort or something like that.
It doesn't really matter to me because they're the same.
Yeah. Oh, that's true too. Okay.
Dice pool. So. Yeah.
So yeah. Let's say they can. Let's start at controlled. I kind of want to play this out though because this is interesting. If you don't mind, so I'm actually going to say right now off the bat it's limited because I feel like we might have to make either another roll like this is like a clock or like we're gonna like chunk this out a little bit because I feel like this is kind of like I want to see you work like I want to see you guys work at this business meeting here like you're making a high level deal and it's not just a one roll to succeed. Does that make sense?
I definitely feel that and understand that, and so I'd say make it standard but make it a clock unless it's really hard, and then make it limited and still a clock. But whatever is appropriate for you. Yeah. I'm not the GM here.
So it's controlled. It's controlled, limited, starting out. But Brightstone runs at a premium. That's a lot at stake to put forward with you. Your numbers look good, but as the first thing someone in our business will tell you that past success does not indicate future performance necessarily.
Sierra, how can you throw me a helping die? Or can you do something to set me up to increase our position?
Yeah, so I can...
Or our effect, rather.
Because there was a lot of talk. It's kind of pleasantries, but maybe there was, some things that, really... they were actually interested in, and maybe we could drive on those. I want to study those guys for we need to make sure that we have X, or we need show that we can do, whatever. They're worried about security and that we won't be able to handle that, whatever. Right?
Here's something that you might want to chew on about. Maybe you need to answer. Here's a question they have for you, right? Going through your stuff, because they did their homework on you guys too, right? It would be obvious before meeting. One of the reasons why they agreed to this meet, they say we were quite impressed at your ability to remove the stain of what are they called? I was gonna say the Bloodletters, which is not the right faction.
The Billhooks.
The Billhooks, yeah. So I'm gonna bring you guys back over the map.
The taint of Cantor.
Right. So you guys would be... You guys are meeting here. like overlooking kind of Brightstone and stuff. So, and like they're really impressed that you're able to remove the that stain of the billhooks off that and did not hurt your clientele. But it's not fully gone. We have to, and Brightstone, the elites that in the that exclusively deal with Brightstone, not venturing far outside the city, they have long memories. They'll remember that. We're afraid that might be damaging to your future prospects. What do you plan to do to remedy that?
That is a damn good question. I don't have a good answer off the top of my head.
God. All right. I guess Seer then pipes up if Vale is hesitating.
I mean, this is a good time for a flashback where I can walk in.
And Jewel is like, murder.
Can I?
Yeah.
No, like seriously, I'm 100% willing to have killed one of the prominent billhooks and like have his head right there to walk in at this exact moment.
Yeah, you want that?
Yes, I do. I really do.
Okay.
Perfect
I
business
mean,
meeting.
are you?
You're gonna make me roll for the flashback to kill a guy.
Flashback to murder.
However much stress this is gonna cost me, I guess it would be like command.
Well, here's what I think it will be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a hard choice here.
Okay.
You could either take a flashback of 1 and then you roll and possibly take more, or you could just say you've done it and it takes 4 stress. You know what I'm saying? Like we can like
right. So I take 1 stress, we play it out to whatever happens, and I might be taking more harm or whatever from it.
Yeah, or you just Aragorn your way through the doors here and throw down the head of
I want to be a badass. I'm gonna spend the 4 stress to have just done it.
Yeah, so cool. So then that means you already you did all the work and you killed the guy and you got up here, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And the head of the head of like one of the not like the leader, but yeah, like someone else in charge, like a high level
prominent people, like one of the faces or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you come in there.
A well-known lieutenant.
Steve McEyepatch.
Yeah, Steve McEyepatch. You know that guy. Everybody knows that
With
guy.
his signature eye patch.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely some fucking assistance on this roll right there. Mechanically, was your intention to? So you're in the scene.
I was gonna come in and roll like a command to sway them here. Like,
is that your
really fucking intimidating?
That's not helping.
At that exact moment, they're like, you're gonna have to do something more. At which point, walk in, bloody head on the table.
Yeah, and you're like what do you have in mind? You know,
exactly.
like what? Yeah, totally. Okay, yeah. Make a. This is this is controlled standard.
Okay.
That was amazing. That's cool.
Oh boy. I'm gonna push myself for an extra die here. I'm just gonna put it all into this one roll. With all the stress from that flashback, and then also to push myself here, but it's totally worth it. 5. Okay.
All right.
I do it, but there's some kind of a consequence. And if you want this consequence to be like, I stumble because I had been hurt fighting this guy, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
mind.
I was gonna say that I was gonna give you harm. Exactly. Just be like you have like some kind of like level 2
I also have
harm.
armor to prevent this.
That's fair. But yeah, no. You got level 2 harm. You got stabbed in the leg.
Okay. I will burn my battle-born special armor.
The most casual stabbing in the leg.
Yeah.
Ever came out.
It is routine. Yeah. Yeah.
To shrug it off.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's probably unconventional to give yourself a consequence to something from a flashback, actually, versus what the actual role was. But it makes perfect.
No,
it's fine here.
I think it makes total sense.
Yeah.
I personally, I think that's totally fine. Like to do a consequence that is related to the flashback that you were rolling off for.
It's in the spirit of Blades for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, got it. Yeah, so that's fucking badass. So no problems.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess it's back to them. They have another question for you. The question I guess that I want to ask them is questions of security and logistics of dealing with keeping this place safe. We're not talking about necessarily blue coat raids and that kind of stuff. I think what we're talking about is more from larger organizations. For example, the Hive is fighting with the Unseen, right? We're so that the Hive wants. Okay, so where we're at right now, you have a quarter left of this clock. The Hive's like interested in going forward, but they're running through the problems of getting you set up in Brightstone and upsetting the balance that they have, like the tenuous Cold War between of economics between the Unseen and the Hive by setting you up in Brightstone, and they want to know what you're gonna do about it. Flashback to Jewel coming in with another head.
Wait, there's more.
Actually, I think this is where like it being more of a social deception plan comes in, where I pipe up and I say, well, we have some options. One is we leave your name off of it to start until your Unseen problem is more resolved. We make money, but we keep it quiet. We have our own tinker.
We have canal docker friends, so like there's like several relays we can use.
It's very hard.
Us in the Hive.
They mention it's very difficult to keep secrets from the Unseen.
I'm very good at keeping secrets.
God.
Ooh, Fenris in chat mentions if the Hive uses Roman titles, the head of each part of Duskvol is called a legate. Or maybe it's legati. I think it's legate. Legate. Yeah, I like that.
We have
So this his former term is legate. Legate Savoy.
So the Unseen are like
Legate.
thieves, right? It's a big.
The Hive are like what?
No, the Unseen.
Are like thieves?
Yeah.
Not exactly. The Unseen are more of like they're more like the League of Shadows, to be honest with you. The Unseen are sort of like the largest criminal enterprise in the city, but they're so large that they don't really deal a lot with you. You know what I mean? Like they are dealing with. They're a mover and shaker of the world, essentially, right?
So they deal through other people a lot.
Yes, they do a lot through subsidiaries and such. It's kind of like what the Hive does on a much smaller level.
So what we could
do... Fenris in chat, the Illuminati is a good way of thinking about it. They are the Illuminati.
Maybe could use is our underground mapping of the city that we've might done underneath Brightstone and sewers, and we got some maps from that hull heist for the Eye of Kotar or whatever. Like that's like out of sight of everyone, right? If they only go through agents and we're like not using any at all.
Did you bring up the Eye of Kotar?
I would probably not bring up the Eye of Kotar, but we could bring up that like we have extensive experience plowing through the sewers of Doskvol. And if they're afraid that they would find out if we worked with too many people, then we could cut out a whole bunch of people and like smuggle shit through tunnels, right? where no one else touches it. Like it just goes to our Painted Lady 6 Towers franchise, and then disappears, and no one knows where it goes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's wrap this up with another roll.
So maybe this is like a survey thing.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see why it's survey. You're basically laying out the logistics of like, so here's the plan. Like, it's more of like describing the operation, giving them intel of like how things will work and what's the movings and the goings of your operation, your proposed operation. Yeah, it could be survey.
And even though I proposed it, I'm gonna need you guys' help to help me survey, because
I will throw you a helping die.
How are you helping?
By trying to convince them that this is the best idea and we can do it because we're fucking awesome.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Do we want to see, is Drool helping at all?
I can't. I mean, I could do a joint move, but what's my survey like? I have 1 dot in survey. If you wanted me to be doing it with you, if you're willing to lead the group action for potential stress,
I'd be willing to lead.
I'll roll a die for you. So yeah, no, maybe.
Sure. I'll lead.
Okay.
And I'm just going to help. I'm not going to roll because I have 0, and it's better to give someone a die than to roll 2 and keep the worst one.
It's true. What's our position? Whatever.
Still controlled. Controlled standard.
Cool.
So I can propose a devil's bargain to myself, much like.
Yeah.
I mean, someone could get bit by a giant spider that lives in the sewers.
Down the road or right now?
And is poisoned.
Jimmy, no! Not
I mean,
Jimmy.
they're dead.
Like, are you saying this is a devil's bargain of like this happened when we were surveying the sewers?
Yeah, right. Because it's a flashback kind
Yeah.
of to us surveying the sewers on our way to Brightstone. Because like we focus a lot of the 6 Towers before, but we knew we were gonna go into Brightstone. See where we were.
Yeah, but what's the ramification of that? Is that just fictional?
I mean, like there's the
Give harm to someone
whatever
right now.
harm poisoned.
Oh, one of you guys is harmed
It
by
could be,
poison? Got it. Yeah. Okay.
There's way more spiders than just the one. Could be another one.
Mm-hmm.
There's more people in the sewers than no one. There's another one.
Okay.
I don't know, like you pick. I'm coming up with way too many reasons to shoot myself in the foot with.
Yeah. No, I'm cool with that.
MO.
Maybe I should stop.
Okay. No, I like that idea of playing with things in the sewers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take that.
there's
The
more
devil's
things.
bargain of things in the sewers.
Sure, we'll do that. We'll clear it out when it becomes a problem.
Yeah. Right.
That's a future seer problem.
Classic Blades in the Dark.
It's always a future seer problem, isn't it?
Yeah. So controlled standard, you said, right?
Yes.
Then.
And currently, Jewel rolled survey and got a 4, so it doesn't.
So you should have 2 extra dice there.
Ooh,
All right,
5.
and you got a 5. All right, that's not the worst. So you get the outcome that you want, but it's not the most desired outcome. So I think what happens is that they're willing to go forward on this, but they mention that their big concern is that endorsing you guys, and like if you can, like they're willing to bet and trust that you guys can keep this stealthy and stuff like that. But if the unseen find out about this, it's almost assuredly going to start a war. and that the unseen will not be against you, and there will not be, and the hive will not be able to really like protect you in the way that they want, right?
Can we resist that consequence?
Yeah, you can resist that.
Cool.
So that would be me that has to resist, right?
Mm-hmm. How are you resisting?
Well, I mean, Asteyni could resist as well by doing like
Stepping in, taking harm.
stepping in and taking harm
Oh, okay.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it all depends on how you want to resist.
Yeah.
I don't think that Jewel's able to resist this. Because
I feel like it's going to be like a
bring
resolve.
it on. I'm gonna kill those guys.
I feel like this is more of like either an insight or a resolve resist. And I feel like it's probably more of an insight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm garbage at insight.
Resolve though could work, I think.
I could step in and do that because I have a point in everything in resolve. So I would resist pretty well. I think I'd be rolling 4 dice there. So I think maybe as the leader, when they say that, I step in and I say, no, this is how this should go. And you can trust us to keep this discreet and your name will never come up. And if something happens, you can also be discreet in your help for us.
Yeah, okay. People are going to want to know, though, how you got into Brightstone, right?
Well, we'll deal with that when it comes.
All right.
If it comes. So
you guys are arguing over hypotheticals, but
It seems so external that I have a hard time coming up with how would I resist.
So I'm just clicking the thing next to resolve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Easy. 6. Okay. No big deal. No big deal. Ain't no thing. Okay. So that gets ablated. All right, they're willing to support you. So I think what we see then is there's like a huddle of the accountants and people, and then Orlin steps up. What's up?
We're also huddled. And it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck happened to your leg?
Legate. Yeah, I think Legate Savoy steps up and believes like, well, I believe proprietors of the Painted Lady, you have yourselves a deal, and they have their hand out.
I go to shake his hand or their hand.
Okay.
I wipe blood off of my hand on my pants, and then I go to shake his hand.
All right. Cool. And great. Let's do some experience today for today's session.
So does that give us anything as far as our claim?
Yeah. No, you have a claim in Brightstone now.
Hey.
So you set up the deal. You got it working. We're gonna start next session with you guys with your shop opening up in Brightstone. So that's a pretty good deal. Thanks to the Hive.
So what exactly is that claim? Did we already check one?
We haven't.
No, you haven't checked one yet.
Would that be the luxury venue? Since that's kind of what we were going for, is having a luxury venue in Brightstone.
Yeah, I think that's
that sounds pretty much friggin' perfect.
Right.
Okay.
Let's look. I'm gonna look for a cool asset to add to the map of showing where our place is.
Okay.
And we're gonna need to come up with a name for it, unless it's just gonna be like the Painted Lady.
The Painted Lady Brightstone.
The more Painted Lady.
So, do we want to do crew XP first and then individual XP?
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So, did we execute I can't talk either. Successful product acquisition, big sale, or territory control operation? Territory control operation.
Yeah.
For sure.
100% there.
Did we contend with challenges above your current station? I would say more than one.
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
Did we bolster our crew's reputation? I think
Absolutely.
I think we specifically got called out on that. Like, y'all's ballsy as fuck, I think was the quote.
I think that's verbatim what I said. Y'all's ballsy AF.
And did we express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew? Again, hell yeah.
Multiple times.
Excellent.
We're almost to our next crew advance, guys.
Well, you guys just got set up in Brightstone, so like,
we should be, right?
Right?
We're doing good. Doing good.
You guys are getting there. You started from the bottom, now you're here. So, nice work, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll work between sessions about the name of this place and stuff and all that jazz.
All right. I can start my XP next if nobody else wants to jump in.
Go for it.
So, as a hound, did I express challenges with tracking or violence? Yes, I very much definitely did. I tracked someone down and I violently murdered them. You might want to calculate heat on that score before you forget that I killed the guy.
I think just adding 2 heat to things would be fair.
Okay. Anyway, where was I at? Did I express my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, several times.
A couple of times there. And did I struggle with issues from my vice or traumas during this session? Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to murder that guy in our crew.
I did.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
told the rest of the crew that I would murder a guy, and they were like,
At first I was like, yeah, okay, let's kill him. And then Sierra's like, maybe we shouldn't.
Right.
Poor Jimmy.
You guys are so on board with murdering Jimmy. Come on.
Was that 5 or 6 XP?
I think 5.
Okay. I'm all right with that. Cool.
Yeah.
Next.
All right. I managed to not roll anything desperate. I thought I did, but
We almost did.
no.
But then it went too risky.
Yeah. So that's all right. XP when I addressed the challenge with technical skill or destruction. I impressed the vampire with my sweet nerd shit.
You also impressed
Technical skill.
and I mean keep in mind you also surveyed. I think your survey roll also factored into that, right? Technical skill of showing how the plans will work. No?
I mean, I'll take it if you want to give it to me. I don't think that's my technical skill. Though. It's my skill. Sure.
You've earned
Maybe
1
my
experience
technical
for it.
skill.
Okay. You got an experience. Okay.
1 experience. If I express beliefs, drives, heritage, background, my belief that I wanted so bad to step in, but Jewel was like, no, Mr. Bubbles will do it. So that's Jewel knows what she's doing and I can trust her lead. My background as an academic kind of came up. So that's 2. My Iridian background, not really. My drives, I don't even know. No, not really. If I struggle with issues of my vice, like we did get some heat for it, so I'm not sure if that counts.
No, yeah, it does. You overindulged and you dealt with it. Yeah, it came into play.
So that's 4. Well, and then someone else dealt with it, but it became an issue.
It still became an issue for the group that had to get resolved because of you. It took the game in an interesting direction. I definitely would give you experience for it.
And my trauma of paranoia about Hobbs came up, I feel. So I think it's 5.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Nice. And Vale?
So I already marked my desperate. roll.
Yeah. Good job.
Did I address a tough challenge with deception or influence? Yeah, like all the
2
time.
experience? Yeah.
Maybe.
I feel like I don't put you in enough physically violent situations.
That's because I avoid them like the plague.
I know, you really do. You really do. You're like, I'm just going to instead...
I'm just going to talk my way out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, I hear what you're saying, Eric, and I'm just not going to do that. Yeah. You put yourself in situations where you win, and I think that's perfectly fair.
Maybe that's how I play. Did I express my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? Again, I feel like I did that multiple times.
Yeah, I would say 2 experience as well.
And I didn't really struggle with anything, so it's like 4 plus my desperate.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect. Cool. Good work, everybody. Good hustle.
With that, I did get to upgrade my prowess. I took an extra point in prowl since I really feel like Jewel was doing some sneaky stuff.
Yeah. Let me update the character sheet for that.
So I should also mention my study is at 2, my finesse is at 1, my attune is at 1, my command, consort, and sway are at 3.
So, Kelsa, your prowl is now 2?
My prowl is now 2, yes. Let me... I'll read you everything if you want. Or no.
Did you... the only thing you boosted
that was the only
now...
thing I changed this time, and I think everything else was right.
No, you're fine. Okay. And then Vale, you said you changed something?
Yeah, because something ticked up. I think it was my attune ticked up or something.
Yeah, I already covered up your attune's already been changed.
I had some XP from last session, and I didn't spend at the end of last session, so I just spent at the beginning of this one, so I got my study up as well. So I should have study of 2 and then attune of 1.
You mean attune of 2 now?
No, it should be 1 because I don't think I ended up putting a point in it because we talked about it and it didn't make sense. So I put it in something else, I think.
Okay. Let's see. Vale. Yeah. So you have no insight, just study. And 1 prowess.
1 finesse, 1 attune, and then 3 the rest of the way resolves.
Oh, okay. So instead of attune, it must have went into command.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
That's what it was. Got it. Okay. Done. Good job, everybody.
Alrighty.
Nice. All right, so let's do some outros. Who wants to go first? Kelsa?
Sure, why not? Because clocks. Hello, I'm Kelsa. If you've been watching this, you probably heard this spiel before. You can follow me at Kelsa on Twitter and here on Twitch, twitch.tv/KelsaDelphi. If you're watching on YouTube, don't worry about my YouTube. Just follow me on Twitter or Twitch. You can learn about all the shows that I'm in. I always tweet about shows before I go live, and I always host when I am on somebody else's show. Mostly, I am on other people's shows, role-playing shows, 4 days a week. Currently, I run Blades in the Dark on Wednesday. I play Mutant Masterminds on Thursday. I play Mouse Guard on Friday, and here I'm a player in Blades in the Dark on Saturdays. So lots of role-playing games. Find out more. Follow me.
Whoa! I keep forgetting how many games you do. You do more than me. And
He's a crazy person.
I mean, there might have been a week when I did a game every day for 7 days. No, actually, I did 7 games across 5 days, which was still too much. But the point, so I'm down to 4 games a week, plus occasionally popping onto Asteyni's channel. Thinking of which, let's take it over to Asteyni.
Yeah.
I think that's clockwise.
Speaking of which,
no, it's not clockwise.
Don't worry about it.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Asteyni. I also want to show off my huge purple bruise. So I'm just going to do that real quick because tube housings are made of lead. But anyway, when I'm not here playing Blades in the Dark, I am playing board games on my own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Asteyni. And this week we are going to be playing Epic Spell Wars, which should be a lot of fun. We play every night at 7:30. Well, not every night, every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because daylight savings time ticks over.
Oh yeah, it's daylight savings time.
Extra sleep. Woo.
An extra hour. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good to know. Forgot about that.
So that's it for me, and so I'm going to throw it over to Paul, who really needs to make some Blades in the Dark fan art when he has time.
Oh God, I so want to, but I just don't have time,
I know.
and it's terrible. But I'm Paul. You can find me as Liefington here on Twitch, mostly in chat though, and on Twitter, where I really don't post much except the occasional drawing, which has become rare, and it's kind of crappy, but like it takes so much time, and now I'm getting super rusty, so it takes so much more time. It's terrible. But luckily we're getting an hour extra tonight, so maybe
get all that
if
done
we're
in
not
an hour.
Just spend that hour just drawing. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
Or we're gonna see Doctor Strange. But
I need to do that.
you have to make sacrifices sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't forget to reset your clocks if you're in the US or Canada. If you're a Euro, you already did it last week. Good job.
Yeah. If you're a GM of Blades in the Dark, you do not reset your clocks. So,
Can we set all
joke.
our clocks backwards? One take?
No. So,
Also, like I have like some shit that I should really like start some clock for. I feel like we just need to make more clocks in general, so we kind of track some more stuff. Because I feel like there's some stuff that falls into the cracks sometimes. But
makes sense.
we'll figure
see.
it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Cool. And I'm Eric Vulgaris on everything on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. I'm a part-time role-playing game player and GM. Today I just announced I could finally announce what we're doing next week on next Saturday over at Stephen Lumpkin's channel. So it's Silent Osiris. I will be a player in our first game of King Arthur Pendragon, which is a Greg Stafford's magnum opus, probably. It's the best way of thinking about it. It's the full telling of the King Arthur fairy tales, and you play as sort of like a knight that's like tangentially related to that kind of stuff. And we're starting from the very, very, very beginning, which is like the rise and stuff of Uther Pendragon. So we have quite a lot to go through.
I love that system. I am so excited.
I'm super excited to do it too. My character is really interesting. I'll leave it at that.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to do this stuff. So we're doing that. But join us here tomorrow for Burning Crowns, which is my Burning Wheel role-playing game. I'm super excited for that. And and then every Tuesday I release a podcast called Once Upon a Cast. You can find it on iTunes and everything like that if you like Stars Without Number. I will say that my